Thank you. All right. Let's start this all over again. So, hello everyone. Welcome and I was wishing you all a happy new year. This is FOCIL Breakout 26. So, we are in the phase of proposing headliner candidates for Hegota. We haven't written a proposal yet, but we'll write one soon. While we were off last year and early this year, we have shared FOSSIL readiness for Hegota article. Here's a link. So please have a look if you're interested. And yeah, that's it for what's called the proposal for Hegota stuff. And then I think we can move on to development updates or research updates if anyone has. Maybe I can go first. There are some changes made to the CL spec recently. So I've updated fossil CL spec. Here is the PR if any CL dev is interested. There might be more changes coming though, but if I make any changes to the fossil spec, then I'm going to share so that people can update their prototypes if they want to. So yeah, that's it from my end. Does anyone have any updates to share?
Did have just a quick question regarding the interop stuff. No specifics, though, obviously. But it's my understanding we're going to do some Hagota interop, and I'm curious only because I can't actually make it to the interop this year for scheduling reasons. Are we going to live stream that stuff? And is there a way to participate remotely, or do we need to have a representative there?
Well, I haven't been any interrupts, so I'm probably not the best person to ask, but maybe Justin, you wanna say something?
It's doable. Generally, we don't do that, but we do can do odd ad hoc remote stuff. The challenge is always, zooming a couple of participants into a large room with lots of other participants and people huddled around fairly poor microphones.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've
Exactly.
done that in the past. If you can grin and bear it, it's doable. We're happy to give it a shot.
Okay.
I think Fossil's important. I'm a booster. I'll bring a microphone.
Okay. And to be fair, we will have others. Like basically the rest of our team is going to try to make it. I'm just slated to do H star. And I know I can't make it there this year.
Yeah, I mean, if you have specific points you'd like to have, cared for, I'd be happy to advocate for you or your team and try and present that best as possible.
Sure. If anything comes up, but honestly, it was just more that I know it's a valuable time in order to just get everybody together, huddled around, and so like we'll figure it out internally if we can find a second person that's also interested in the feature that can help out, and then we'll make sure we have someone there representing.
Cool.
Right, cool. Do we have any more questions?
Hello, I have a question around. There was an existing PR on a rebase, a possible rebase onto Gluos. Can I know what's the overall status of that PR?
So the PR, I think I would say we the PR itself is waiting for Fossil to become a headliner for Hegota or not. So we need to become a headliner to merge the PR. And implementation wise, we don't have, as far as I know, we don't have any working ePBS implementation. So that's why we are still based on Flu. And we had like nearly 8 clients based on Flu, but since many of them were built like many months ago, so they are not kind of working today. So if you try to run intro among those Flu-based clients, then you are gonna see they are not working. But and yeah, so I would say current status is just waiting for the decision to be made regarding uh, Fossil as a headliner for Hegota. But the
Right.
PR itself is quite up to date. So if you just read it, then I believe you can get the gist of the change.
Right. So, on top of that, if Fossil is selected as the headliner, then would that PR be again updated? Because I think the Glowes has been updated uh, a lot, maybe. Uh,
Yes, that's true. So the loss itself is still incorporating spec changes, and I haven't reflected those changes into that PR. I just wanted to wait a bit until we freeze Gloss spec. So yeah, you're right. Once we freeze Gloss spec, I can update the PR based on the latest Gloss spec, and then once we have working ePBS implementation after a few devnets, once we feel like it is okay to rebase Fossil implementation on top of it, then we were gonna have prototypes on top of GLOAS.
right, right, got it.
From a timing perspective, do we know when the Haggoda headliner process is going to happen? I don't remember hearing a timeline for that.
Um, as I remember it, by early February, we are proposing headliner candidates, and then
Okay.
in February we're gonna select one for CL, one for EL, I guess. But
Okay, so by
maybe it's
March we
different.
should have clarity.
Yeah, yes, I believe so.
And then we could start rebate because, like, I know obviously we're also built on Fulu, and as I'm sure everybody else's code is, and there's a lot of changes in GLOAS, so I think it's going to be, I'm wondering if it's worth doing interop based on Fulu when when we're together, or is there enough time to rebase both the spec, get it merged, uh, and rebase all of our code? Just thinking out loud here.
Mm.
So that
Uh,
remember that this is a cross-layer feature. So whatever decision we make here is going to apply to the ELs as well. I think ELs would, well, speaking for Besu, EL would prefer to be on top of Amsterdam, I think, than Fulu.
And I think we do too. I'm just wondering time like is if we don't get clarity until sometime late February that it is headliner in order to trigger the PR process or the rebase and PR of the spec on top of the Glamsterdam spec, that's not going to leave a whole lot of time in order to rebase the code with whatever changes that are necessary. So I think it's just worth something to think about.
is it about the spec PR or having a
The
working
code.
ePBS client code?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like we'd have to have a working ePBS client
that's true.
and rebase um all of the FOCIL code on top of that. And I'm just concerned that it's because like they're not expecting ePBS DevNet 0 until I'm guessing it's going to be March from what we just heard on our testing call, if not mid-March. So it's gonna be a tight timeline in order to be able to get everything, all the pieces together for, for us to actually have a meaningful session together.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think on the CL side, we don't need to try to make the intro based on flu. But on the EL side, given that the changes we're gonna have on the EL on flu and on gloss are quite minimal. So we were using one client, I believe it was Lodestar, to try intro between Red and Aragon just to make sure that it is working correctly. But that was just about the EL. So in general, I don't think we need to make every client's interrupt working, given that we're not gonna be based on blue anyway. So that's my thought. So after we have a working ePBS client, um, it will be like, I don't know, mid-March or April. Then given that there will be a lot of changes, then some clients might prefer to just build everything from scratch. I'm not sure. It's up to their choice. So, but we we don't need to rush, right? We are targeting next Amsterdam, so I think we
Yeah.
still have a
No, I
lot of time to do. Yeah.
just wanted to put that thought in the world only, just because I know we're scheduling, so just get the wheels turning, you know what I mean, mentally, so we can all think about it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. I think in the meantime, if you were to use some developer resources, um, you guys can give a review on the PR just to make sure that if the PR makes sense or not. All right. Do we want to cover more questions? Yes, Katya?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep.
If you have some time, could you please make a short summary of your PR? So you shared it. Is it some tiny changes or maybe something, some new logic or
Um,
just
which PR are
briefly?
you referring to?
The specs PR ET 48 18.
Ah,
So
yeah. So that's I can give you a summary here. It's just about like a refactoring stuff we introduced in Gloss spec. So we did some refactor to process withdrawals function, and some part of that are related to part of the function that we are modifying. And the second thing is in the fork choice spec, uh, although we are based on flu, there was also some refactor to the existing fork choice function, and some were not exactly the same with flu spec. So I changed it a little bit to make sure we are in line with flu spec, and that's it. So nothing fundamentally different from what we had yesterday, but there are some refactors that we want to count into.
yeah, I got it. Thank you. Nothing like very serious. Okay, thanks.
Cool, thanks. Do we have more questions? Otherwise, we can go ahead and wrap up the call. it seems we're good, so I think we can go ahead and wrap up this call early. We're gonna have a next breakout call in 2 weeks, so we can discuss anything there. Yeah, sorry about the hassle in the beginning of this call. We're gonna have a much smoother breakout call next time. Thank you for joining this breakout call. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day and see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.